The SS David Salman was within radio contact with Northland Navigation in Vancouver, awaiting instructions as to its destination, Powell River or Port Alberni. The answer would determine its course. My husband, Chris Evans, formerly Baxavanas, worked on the David Salman for 8 years, rising to the rank of second officer. It was his responsibility to supervise the loading of the huge newsprint rolls from the wharf into the bows of the ship heading for California, or occasionally Hawaii or Japan. The David Salman was under contract for this essential task, and without the numerous companies that provided this service over the years, the mill would not have functioned. The crew consisted of Captain Petrie, whose family lived in Lund, and many other Swedes, a Danish chief steward, a German first officer, and my Greek husband. 2 Canadians worked there also, Harry Olesen, who ultimately worked in the mill steam plant and was our NDP MP in Ottawa for 1 term, and Pete Long, whose father Jack Long was fire chief and chief security officer at the mill. Jack Long and his wife Muriel welcomed their son's shipmate into their family home in Cranberry. Another family, the McIntoshes, Jim and Patsy on Maple Avenue, opened their home to the crew who were far from home. Drop in any time for a cup of tea and some homemade bread was a standing invitation from Patsy, who introduced me to Chris, who became my husband the next year. The David Salman hosted many wonderful parties attended by locals. I remember one particular party in December 1966, when Captain Petrie allowed the officers to host a party in his private dining room with its beautiful china and Swedish glassware. The Danish chief steward provided a sumptuous banquet of many courses. In true Swedish custom, each course was preceded by the toast "Skål," drunk with aquavit. My husband and I didn't drink much, so 1 glass lasted us throughout the meal. But it wasn't so with the other guests, whose glasses were topped up before each toast. As the meal's 6 or 7 courses were served, fewer and fewer people rose for the toasts, until just before the last one, my husband and I were the only ones standing. But revelry never resulted in dereliction of duty, and next morning everyone proceeded with the loading, after which the ship sailed off, bound for San Diego. In 1968, after the birth of our son Andrew, my husband left the David Salman and went to navigation school in North Vancouver to get his mate's ticket, after which he joined BC Ferries and we moved to Nanaimo, severing our ties with the David Salman, but retaining so many memories of his connection with the Powell River Mill.